Live trans.
Hi, this is Dr. Robinson, and today I'm going to actually show you how to set up your computer properly in order to have it work really well with a screen reader. Of course, you can do these or not do these. This just happens to worked out really, really well for all our students. Let me move into position. What I'm going to do, it typically takes 2 hours to get a computer set up properly. So let's go ahead and Alt Tab into Word so you can see what's up.
Leaving zoom document one word. Shift Windows right at
Okay, so I'm going to start here, Control Home.
top. Set up a computer.
And one by one, I'm going to go down these. You can do them in any order. This is just kind of how my brain typically remembers them. I may do this in 1 hour or two separate videos in 2 hours. So I will tell you this is the end of this, just based on how tired I get. Set up a computer. Okay, this is for a Windows 11 machine. Set up a
10 blank
computer. Let's go
dash space
do
S window 1.
Windows 11. And typically this is true of any computer. Windows 11 just has a couple little tweaks because it works just a little bit differently. So the first issue is going to be your taskbar settings. They're all in the center. That negatively impacts any of our commands to the right, like getting into the system tray and whatnot. If you don't know what that is, system tray is the bottom right-hand corner of your computer where the clock is. So we're going to go into the taskbar settings and get that set up first. Let's go down
11 taskbar settings.
and get that off of our to-do list. I'm going to hit my Windows key and type in taskbar.
Search TASKBA taskbar settings. System
Yep.
settings.
Now I'm going to tell you, if your computer is not populating instantaneously when you search, that means you need to do indexing of your computer, and I will be showing you how to do that also. Hit enter on taskbar settings.
Taskbar enter settings search box.
Okay, I'm just going to hush him up because I already know the things I want to change. I'm going to tab until I hear search.
Personalization taskbar search combo box search box.
Okay, there's too many search boxes, so I'm actually going to go up arrow to hide. Listen, because sometimes you have to hit spacebar before you hit arrow key. And don't you love how it talks to you? Not so much. Insert tab.
Search combo box. To change the selection, use the arrow keys.
And it still won't talk to you. So you can turn on narrator and it will say hide, or you can just keep going up arrow until it just stops. Okay, everything underneath of this and based on your update, it's going to be different, but taskbar and widgets and all of those are dynamic. Get rid of them. We're going to turn them off.
Task view button off to activate.
Yeah, and some of these I turned back on just so I can go through this with you.
Widgets button on to act space off.
Turn off, tab once.
System tray icons. Show all settings button expanded to act.
Okay, as soon as they're expanded, you can tab through so you can hear.
Pen menu button off to touch keyboard combo box. Always to change the selection, use the arrow.
And that's for if you have sight. If this is a touch keyboard and you it pops up on your screen, you can hide or you can just leave it alone.
Virtual touchpad button off to activate. Press.
Okay, tab again.
Other system tray icons. Show all settings.
Okay, show all. Hit spacebar and open your settings.
Space expanded.
Okay, now here's where you're going to go through and you're going to turn on particular items. And I'm going to tell you which ones should go on. So you can Windows B down to your system tray. And if it will tell you there's a security issue or Windows update issue, and you just need to handle that. So let's tab in.
Hidden icon menu button on to activate. Press space bar.
That means your icons are going to be turned off and can be accessed in the menu in your chevron button. So you can turn that off. So all your icons will be showing up. So that's totally up to you how you want that.
List box. Windows update status 1 of 30. To move to an item.
I'm going to hush them up. What you do is you down arrow through this menu, but to get to the on off button, you tab once.
Windows update status button on to activate.
Okay. And I would hit space bar, turns it on or off.
Space off, space on.
I want that on. Down arrow.
Windows security notification.
You want that on also.
Microsoft OneDrive 3.
I'm going to hush them up. I want that on also because that is my main backup.
Bluetooth devices 4 of 30.
I connect a lot of Bluetooth devices. If you do also, you might want that to have easily accessible.
Quick PA 8, 5 of 30.
Off.
Columbia status monitor 6
Off.
of Malwarebytes 7 of 30.
Okay, I have that set up for automatic. And I have it for automatic scan, so I don't have that on my system tray.
JT target 8 of 30.
If you're using JAWS and Tandem and you get the error code that says you're already in a Tandem window, I highly suggest turning that on so it makes it really quick to go down to your JT target and you can actually disable that so you can get into another Tandem session. In JAWS, it is very, very handy dandy. So you don't have to go into your task manager to do that.
Zoom meetings, 9 of the application file for
Nope,
JAWS, Microsoft Teams,
nope.
11, JT controller, 12.
Okay, I am the JT controller. I know how to disconnect that really quickly. But if you are in a lot of tandem sessions, you might want that on if you get that error code also.
Printer devices, 13 of
Nope.
safely remove.
I'm just going to say go down here and check all these. Most of these are not checked because I like to control everything on my computer a little bit differently.
NVIDIA, HP, Windows problem, Google Chrome, Windows, Microsoft Out, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Firefox, Screen, Microsoft, Math, Taskman, iCloud,
Okay, and as soon as you can't down arrow anymore, then you tab once.
iCloud Home, taskbar behaviors, show all settings button,
Space.
collapse, space, expanded.
Okay, now here is where your taskbar is. You're going to hear it and it's going to say centered. You're going to up arrow to left. Sometimes you have to hit space and up to left.
Taskbar alignment combo box left.
Get it left. Tab.
Automatically hide the taskbar checkbox not checked. Show badges on taskbar apps checkbox.
Okay, so this one and the next one, you're going to uncheck. Those are dynamic. You don't want anything dynamic happening on your computer with a screen reader.
Show flashing on taskbar app. Show my taskbar on all displays checkbox checked.
Yeah, I have 3 monitors, so I want my taskbar on all my displays.
When using multiple displays, show my taskbar apps on combo box. Alt.
Yep, because I want to see that too.
Share any window from my taskbar checkbox checked.
Hit it
Clear.
again.
Select the far corner of the taskbar to
Yep,
show the desk. Show
those are good
seconds and
too.
system tray clock uses more power checkbox.
That's totally up to you. It does use more power, so I would keep it unchecked if that's not critical to you.
Combine taskbar buttons and hide labels combo box. Always.
Okay, I combine. I like a nice clean desktop, but that's totally up to you also if you want all of your taskbar buttons to be shown.
Combine taskbar buttons and hide labels on other taskbars combo box. Always.
And that's just because I have 3 monitors. That's the reason why it's saying that.
Related support. Help with taskbar. Show all settings button expand space.
Space,
Collapsed. Get help.
tab,
Get help link.
and there's nothing on there. So you're done with your taskbar settings. That is the first thing you're done with. Alt F4.
Alt F4. Document.
Should have gone into Windows Update on there, but I like to keep going back and forth so you can actually do the search again to get there. But the next item is
Update computer.
okay, so this is how you adjust your update computer. I'm going to hit my start key and type in update.
Search bar U, P, D. Check for updates. System
Yep,
settings.
enter.
Press up. Enter. Settings. Search box. Find the setting.
Okay, and hush them up. I want you to come in here at least every other day and check it because if you're wondering why your screen reader is not working well, it's probably due to an update. You're going to tab and you're going to tab past, check for updates, and you're going to tab to get the latest updates as soon as they're available. And you want to select that button to turn it on. Tab away.
Windows Update. Well, Windows Update button. Check for updates button. More options. Be among the first to get the latest non-security updates, fixes, and improvements as they roll out. Link.
Yep, tab one time.
Get the latest updates as soon as they are available button.
I'm going to hush them up and insert tab.
More options. Get the latest updates as soon as they are available button. On. To activate, press space.
Okay, so it tells me it's on. It starts out as off. Hit spacebar, turn it on. So then you're going to get the latest updates. And so then when you find those little hiccups, sometimes they automatically update really, really well, but it just sits there until you completely shut down your computer and start it back up. So this will allow you to get those latest updates to fix those screen reader hiccups quickly. Alt F4 and close.
Alt F4. Document one word. Edit.
Okay, we're done with update computer.
Task Manager Startup can disable items.
Oh, I like how I misspelled that. Startup and disable items. Task Manager, Control Shift Escape.
Control Shift Escape. Task Manager main. Processes table.
Yeah, I'm going to hush them up. I'm going to Control Tab to start up apps.
CP. Processes table.
Oh, don't you just love how that says that? Well, I've got my Braille display and it doesn't even tell me on my Braille display. Well, bummer. Insert tab.
Processes table.
Hmm.
Startup item. HP1 agent service to move
There
through
we
it.
go. Just have to up arrow. So you just kind of have to tweak on it based on what it's saying. Hit enter so it pops you over to the list view.
Enter.
and now down arrow.
Startup item. Host launcher X to move through or
Okay. So I'm going to tell you on your own, you're going to go through this whole thing. You're going to hit your applications key and you're going to disable everything but your audio and your Microsoft Defender and Malwarebytes and your OneDrive or your major cloud item. And the way you do that is you just hit your applications key.
Applications context menu to navigate. Press up or down arrow. C. Enable E.
And it's on enable because it's disabled. You're going to hit D for disable on all of those. But that's how you find out if something's enabled or disabled. A lot of these computers have a lot of items enabled, and you're wondering why your computer is starting up so slowly. That is the reason why. So disable everything that you do not need immediately when you're starting up your computer. You can start up anything that you want once you get onto your computer. I'm going to hit escape and get out.
Escape.
And escape gets out of that, and Alt F4 to close the box.
Alt F4. Document one word. Edit.
Okay, next one, and this is pretty crucial.
Power settings.
Okay, your power settings are automatically set up for sleep. Well, your screen reader, if it cannot totally shut down and start up, it doesn't completely do the proper updates. So you want to change your power settings into something that's more beneficial for your screen reader. Let's go ahead and hit the start key and type in power options.
Search box P O D R power power P edit power plan control panel. Press right to switch preview.
Yep, that will work. Hit enter.
Op enter. Control panel hardware and sound power options. Edit plan settings. Change advanced power settings link.
Yes. Hit enter.
Enter. Power options dialog. Advanced settings page.
Not that
Select
one.
the escape.
Escape.
Control panel hardware and sound change.
Tab.
Put the computer to sleep. Plugged in combo box. Never.
Okay, I'm on my computer 12, 14, 16 hours, a lot of hours during the day, so I don't want it going to sleep on me.
Turn off the display. Plugged in combo box. Never.
Okay, so change that to what makes best option for you. I'm going to Alt D up into my URL or Control L. I'm going to edit it. I'm going to backspace over edit power plans, which is take me to all of the power options. Alt D.
Alt D.
And if Alt D doesn't work, Control L.
Control L. Address edit combo. Control panel hardware and sound power options. Edit plan settings to set the
right arrow. Now backspace over settings, plan, and edit.
S G N I T T E S space N A L P space T I D E.
The fastest way to go anyplace is memorizing path names so you can get there fast. I'm going to hit enter and automatically go into my power options now, or all the rest of them.
Enter. Control panel hardware and sound power options. Control panel home link.
And I'm going to hush them up. I'm going to tab to choose what the power buttons do.
Choose what the power buttons do link.
And I'm going to hit enter.
Enter. Control panel hardware and sound power options system settings. Change settings that are currently unavailable.
Yes, and they are unavailable, so hit spacebar to make them available.
Space pressed.
Okay, now tab. Every computer is different. You may have 4 options. You may have 6 under here. You may have 2. I have an i9, so my computer is built just a little bit differently. So I'm just going to tell you, either going to say shut down, and that's what the press the power button should be. Don't have sleep. You can have do nothing. Now, if you're an advanced user and you totally understand the sleep mode, for like if you close your lid or whatever, that's fine. But you must have shut down in the shutdown power buttons so your computer actually can fully update your screen reader. Tab.
When I press the power button, plugged in combo box, shut down for.
Okay, we want that because when our computer locks up, and by golly, we need to get it restarted so we hear a screen reader again, we need the ability to hit that power button. Well, if it only goes into sleep mode, if sleep is on there, then it may not reset as it needs to. Shutdown will do it. Okay, so shut down.
When I press the sleep button, plugged in combo box, do nothing. One of.
Yeah, so I just don't want that option. I'm on my desktop computer though. So that's totally up to you, but you need to be a more advanced user in order to understand that sleep option and what it will do with your computer when you put it into sleep mode.
Turn on fast startup recommended checkbox.
That is the only box I have selected. If you're in school and you're carrying your laptop back and forth, you probably want the lock.
Turn on fast startup.
But I do not. So I'm going to tab through and you're going to hear all the boxes are unchecked.
Learn more link. Sleep checkbox not checked. Show and power hibernate checkbox not checked. Show and power lock checkbox not checked. Check press.
and then tab to save changes. I cannot because I did not make any changes. Alt F4 and your power options are done.
Alt F4, document one word.
Okay, next one, and it's crucial, and you don't think it is, but wowza, is it? And it's mighty powerful if you understand mouse control.
Mouse control.
Okay, we're going to hit the start key. We're going to type in mouse. What this is going to give your computer to do is it's going to stay, your mouse is going to directly stay in the middle of your screen. Anytime you get a pop-up anywhere, it always pops up directly in the middle of your screen. Every once in a while, you're going to get a pop-up that's not accessible. But guess what? Caps Lock 8 is the left click of a mouse. Caps Lock 9 is a right click of a mouse, which enables you to pop into that so-called inaccessible pop-up box and get rid of it or deal with it however you want. This is how you change that. Start key and type in mouse.
Search box MOUE, mouse settings, system settings,
Enter.
press right mouse, enter, settings, primary mouse button,
I'm just going to hush them up. I'm going to tab all the way to additional mouse settings.
Mouse point, scrolling, roll lines to scroll in act, related set, mouse pointer, more button to act, additional mouse settings, open button to activate, press space bar.
And enter on that.
Enter. Mouse properties dialog.
Okay, now if you're low vision, you're going to love this option also. If you're visual, you're probably going to love this option also. Because if you're working on that computer a lot of hours each day, your sight starts to get blurry, and this is going to give you the ability to find that mouse quickly to get to where you need to be. I'm going to Control Tab to pointer options. If you're not sure why I'm controlling tab, controlling and tabbing is because there are 5 options here. Think of them like 5 pieces of paper. Control Tab allows me to go from buttons into the next option of pointers. I don't care about my pointers, but if you're low vision or sighted, you may care. You can go to extra large mouse controllers. You might want to stop there. But we're going to go into pointer options. That's where our power is. Control Tab.
Pointers page, scheme. Pointer options page, motion fast left right.
Okay. Now, if you're low vision or just visual, you may want to make these changes. To automatically move your pointer to the default button, you're going to do Alt-U or just tab to it and check that box. I'm going to tab to it.
Motion enhanced point, snap to automatically move pointer to the default button in the dialog box, checkbox checked.
Now here's the power, and I'm going to show you how to turn on and off the touchpad also. But if you're a blind student, there's probably a sighted person popping in behind you, turning on the touchpad and moving that mouse around, and you lose that ability of having your mouse directly in the middle of your page. The advantage is you can go ahead and Windows M to your desktop or Windows D and Alt F4, and it opens your shutdown dialog box, which instantaneously snaps your mouse to directly in the middle of your page. Hit escape out of it, and now you have fixed your mouse issue. So now you've got the power of using that mouse as you need to. Okay, the next one is Alt S, so you can show your location of the pointer when I press the Control key. So if you're low vision or once again fully sighted and you just forget where that mouse is, you can hit your Control key. And right now I'm hitting it and you can see that vibration. That's an Alt S. I'm just going to tab to it.
Visibility display pointer trick, visibility hide point, visibility show location.
So there's other visual tasks right there that you can have, but this is the one I want.
Visibility show location of pointer when I press the Control key, checkbox checked.
Okay, that is lovely for low vision and fully sighted people if you're missing where you put that mouse. Anyway, hit enter on that, and I'm going to show you how this works.
Enter. Settings, related settings.
There's settings, Alt F4 out of there.
Alt F4, document.
I'm going to Windows M.
Windows M, desktop.
I'm going to pretend like I'm shutting down my computer with Alt F4.
Alt F4, shut down.
And if you're visual, you instantaneously saw that mouse snap right to the directly of my screen. So now I'm going to hit
escape, desktop.
And my mouse is directly in the screen, which is going to give you all sorts of power if you truly understand what that's going to do for you. So I want you to try that out. Okay, let's go ahead and Alt-Tab to our next task.
Document one word to move to an item.
Okay.
Turn off touchpad.
Turn off that touchpad. So you're going to hit your Start key and type in touch.
Search T-O-U-C Outlook H View Pen and Touch Info Systems
Well, you can tell I never go there because it's not populated.
PAD. Turn the touchpad icon on or off. System settings. Press right to switch preview. Mouse settings. System settings.
Okay,
Press
I'm going to down arrow.
touchpad. Find settings group. Turn the touchpad icon on or off. System settings.
Okay, I could have done that in my mouse settings also. I'm going to hit enter. You do this a couple times, it's going to instantaneously populate right to the top. Remember, your computer is learning from you. The reason why I didn't populate right away is because I don't really touch that thing.
Enter. Settings. System tray icons. Virtual touchpad. Virtual touchpad button off.
Okay, it is off right now. So you can actually turn it on to have your virtual touchpad work and not work or whatever. But typically, if you're a screen reader user, you want that off. It's going to populate in a different area on your computer. No worries. Remember, mine is just a different type of computer. It's a little bit larger, and every computer is different from one another. Alt F4 and get out.
Alt F4. Document 1.
Our next task.
Windows T and clean taskbar.
Let's get that taskbar cleaned up. If you just bought this or not bought this, I also call this $1,000,000 real estate. Anything you put on your taskbar, Windows T, instantaneously open. Well, my JAWS is in the first slot, Windows 1. When I do Windows 1, I can instantaneously start my JAWS up. So I've placed my icons according to what I used. I actually inserted a few I don't, just so I can unpin them for you. I'm going to Windows T to get to my taskbar.
Windows T taskbar. JAWS 2024 button to activate.
Okay. Hit your applications key.
Applications list box. JAWS 2020.
Arrow.
Unpin from taskbar. 2 of
Okay.
2.
And that's what you're going to do on anything you do not need. If you do not have a true applications key and you go to Windows Explorer, you cannot get rid of it that way. A true applications key is, once again, that mouse control that I taught you. You're going to right arrow to it. You're going to caps lock left bracket, and that's going to route your cursor directly to that. Change to your PC cursor with caps lock semicolon, caps lock 9 for a right click, and you can down arrow to an unpinned taskbar. Insert F10 is not really a true right click. It will do many things, but not all, and that's one that it will not do.
Escape taskbar. JAWS 2020.
Well, I'm going to right arrow and just get rid of one icon just so you can see something disappear.
Firefox button to activate. Press
Windows
space.
2 instantaneously opens that.
Microsoft Edge 1 running.
Windows 3, and you heard one running window, because we're going to go in and get your Gmail set up. That's a pretty popular email, but this is going to occur with any email that you are at.
Google Chrome button. Tennessee prop sign in button. Triangle calculator button to act.
Triangle calculator. I'm going to hit my applications key and unpin that.
Applications list box. Unpin from taskbar.
Down
2
arrow,
of 2.
enter.
Enter. Taskbar.
Okay. So go down, clean up that taskbar, and start using your $1,000,000 real estate, because you have to be very, very careful nowadays in assigning keyboard commands, because there's so many keyboard commands already applied to many items, and you're going to wonder why a program opened when you actually assigned it to something else. But by default, your taskbar is already set. It's Windows and whatever number your icon is in. Let's go to our next task. Alt-tab to Word.
Document 1 Word to move to set up Word.
Okay, let's set up Word. So the first thing you're going to do is Control D.
Control D. Font edit combo Times New Roman to set.
Okay, you pick what font that you want. I like Times New Roman mainly because APA, if you're writing papers, that's one of the defaults that they accept. They accept several. So whatever default you want, use that. Tab to your size. Your font style is already set at regular.
Font style edit combo regular. Size edit combo 12.
Okay, once again, mine is set up for paper writing. It's size 12. That is also the typical of how you hand in your work. So I highly suggest going, you can go Times New Roman 12. They have a new icon that came out that even has straighter levels. I can't remember. It starts with A. But you change two things. You want to make sure your font and your size is correct. And then you're going to set default. It's going to be Alt-D to set as default. It asks you two questions. Do you want it to happen to just this document or all documents based on the normal template? Really get used to that word, because you're going to need to reset it periodically when it goes astray. And you're going to do Alt-A for all documents set on the normal template. So every time you open Word, it's going to be set correctly. Alt-D.
Alt-D. Font OK button to activate. Press space bar.
Okay, and tab and listen.
Cancel button. This document only. Radio button checked. To change the selection, press up. All documents
Down.
based on the normal.
But now that I've told you, all you have to do is Alt D and then Alt A and enter, and it's set the default.
Enter. Document one
Okay.
word.
That's one. The next is your paragraph spacing.
Context menu.
So anyone who does not have an i9 machine, you can still do Alt O P to get into your paragraphing. Now, I have an i9,
Leaving menus.
an
Edit.
update, and I can't do that anymore, so I'm very forlorn about that. So everybody else is going to have to do Alt P to your layout and then PG to your page setup. Here we go, Alt P.
Alt P. Upper ribbon. Expanded. Ribbon. Layout tab. 6 of 15. Alt followed by P.
PG.
P. G. Leaving menus. Leaving ribbons. Alt plus G. PG. Alignment. Combo box. Left. To change the selection, use the.
Okay, and everybody else should hear that. So once again, Alt OP if you have basically the majority of your computers, and you should get into your paragraph spacing. So what is always changed is your spacing. Even if you do Insert F, your computer will fib to you and tell you it's single spaced and everything. It's not. You want to do Alt F to your after, and you're going to hear 8 point. You want to hit 0 for 0 point. You're going to tab once, you're going to hear multi-spacing, and you want single as your default, or typically double, or maybe it is multi-spacing. But the majority of all of our students, well, actually all of our students, you want single line, because then when you need to double space for papers, all you have to do is Control 2. If you have multi-line set as your default and you do a Control 2, it's actually going to be 2.5 spaces. So just be aware of that. Alt F to after.
Alt F. After. Edit combo. 0 PT.
Because of course I've already changed this. You're going to tab once and you're going to hit S for single.
Line spacing. Combo box. Single. To change the selection, use the arrow key.
Just to make sure it sticks, tab once. And once again, to set default, it's identical to the alignment. Alt D to set default. You want to Alt A to say all documents based on the normal template. So every single time you open Word, it's going to be beautifully set up and ready to go for any type of formatting you need. I'm going to go ahead and hit escape and get out.
Escape. Edit.
Okay. Down arrow.
Control panel equals sound.
Okay. This one is huge. Now, if you're a screen reader user, you are going to lose sound. I'm going to walk you through all the steps because you can do it yourself. I work remotely. I do this, and I've only done this with my more advanced students. They have no problem adjusting the sound because they get brand new computers, and I help them get this set up. If you're a low vision or sighted or have a sighted person around, they can also help, but I'm going to show you how you can do this all by yourself. Let's go into the control panel and the sound option. Windows key.
Search box O, N, control panel, system, press right on, enter.
Okay, every computer is a little bit different. You might pop into what actually looks like a settings option. You can hit S for sound. You can Control F, you can type in sound. I'm actually in my find already, so I'm going to type in sound.
S, U, N, D.
I'm going to tab to my sound option.
N, D, sound control
and
panel, enter. Sound dialog.
Okay, so based on how you did it, now we are all on the same sound options. You should hear playback. If you Control Tab, you're going to hear recording, Control Tab sounds, Control Tab communications. What I actually want you to do is Control Tab to communications first. This is where all your ducking options are, and we want to go down to basically no ducking. Even if your screen reader is set up properly, your computer is set up to take control of sound options. Let's Control Tab to communications.
Recording. Sounds page. Communications page. Windows can automatically adjust the volume of different sounds when you are using your PC to place or receive telephone calls. When Windows detects communications activity, do nothing. Radio button checked. 4 of 4.
Okay. You're going to be on reduce the volume of other sounds by 80%. We want full control, full sound of our screen reader. So you just down arrow to do nothing and then Alt A to apply. I'm going to Control Tab now, back to playback.
Playback page. Select a playback device below to modify its settings.
I already told you that, so I'm going to down arrow to my playback settings.
Select XP, headphones, Realtek R audio.
Once you find your playback settings, you're going to do Alt P to properties. Alt P.
Alt P, headphones properties dialog.
Yep, they say headphones, but actually it's in my headphone jack. I actually have external speakers, blah, blah, blah. Anybody who understands tech gets. You have to set it up the way your computer actually functions. I'm going to control tab so you can hear each item, but where I'm going is the advanced tab. That's going to be true on the recording tab also. Keep that in mind. It's the advanced tab that has the bugaboo things that are checked.
Levels page, Realtek HD. Advanced page, default format. Select the sample rate and bit depth to be used when running.
I'm just going to hush them up. You can keep whatever you have there. You're going to tab in and you're going to hear all these boxes are checked. Allow applications to take exclusive control of this device, give exclusive mode application priority, and then enable audio enhancements. All of those need to be unchecked. You can tab through, uncheck them, but as soon as you do Alt A, you're going to lose your sound. So let me show you how you can do this all by yourself. We're going to pretend all these are already unchecked on me. I've already done Alt A, so I don't even have that option. So we're going to pretend I just did Alt A and I lost all sound. These are your steps. Okay, you're going to do Alt A, you're going to hit Escape. Actually, hit Enter.
Escape sound dialog.
You're going to Control Tab one time, which will take you to your recording. Control Tab.
Recording page. Select the recording device below to modify it.
Or actually, you know what? If you have lots of recording devices, Control Tab to recording first, and then find out how many times you have to down arrow. I only have to down arrow once. And that's typically what I do with the students that I know are total screen reader users. We go through the recording, we find out how many times they have to down arrow. So I have to down arrow once.
Selected.
Okay, and then I'm going to Alt P. So let's pretend you already went to recording, you found out you had to down arrow once. You're going to Alt P now.
Alt P, desktop microphone properties dialog.
Okay. You can either Control Shift Tab if you're really good at that. That is what I suggest because it will immediately take you to the advanced. But probably even a better idea is even before you do that in playback, go to the recording tab, go through all these options, find out where your advanced tab is. Because I can Control Tab 3 times or Control Shift Tab once, and that's what I'm going to do.
Advanced page. Exclusive mode. Allow applications to take exclusive control of this device. Checkbox.
So you have another allow applications to take exclusive control of this device, and under that, give exclusive mode application priority. You want to uncheck those and Alt A to apply. Then what you're going to do is Alt F4 and close out all of your programs. When you restart your computer, you're going to have total sound, and your JAWS sound is going to sound clearer and just slightly different because, of course, you don't have all that other extra feedback of other devices taking exclusive control. Hit Escape and get out.
Escape sound dialog.
You'll hit Enter. Okay? Narrator does not work. Once your sound goes out, it is out. You've got to restart your computer and then you get your sound back.
Escape sound control.
That is probably one of the most critical. And typically I do start that with the students. They restart the computer and then I go ahead and take them through all the other functions just so they can hear how much better their sound their screen reader is. Okay, Alt F4 and let's close.
Alt F4, document one word, edit.
Okay, we're back. We're going to pretend you restarted a computer and
remove unneeded items.
Okay, so you want to remove anything that you don't need. It's like weighing 300 pounds and let's go ahead and lose 200 really, really fast. Hit your start key and type in remove.
Search REMOV, remove math type app, press right to...
If you hear that, that's just because that's what I have. Just down arrow and you don't have to keep typing.
Remove, best match, add or remove programs, control panel, enter, settings.
Keep in mind, all our words might be slightly different based on your computer. Okay, tab over to your ginormous list view.
Apps button, search edit, view apps, drive filter up, sort options, list box, Adobe Acrobat 64-bit.
Okay, we're in our list box. You're going to down arrow through this huge list box. You're going to tab once to your options, hit spacebar and uninstall. I think I've gotten rid of most of this stuff, but I'm going to get rid of something that's not going to bug me too much. So I'm going to down arrow to ebook reader because I already have several other readers in here.
Amazon, AP8, BMI, Bonjour, Braille Blast, Calculate, Camera, DBT, ebook reader, Wuhan Net
Okay.
Power Tech,
So this is how you get rid of something you don't want. I'm going to tab once.
ebook reader, Wuhan Net Power Technology Co. Ltd. 27-2024, overflow button to
Yep.
activate, press space bar.
Spacebar.
Space, context menu, uninstall 3 of 3.
That's
To
it.
move through items,
Hit
press up or
enter.
to enter. Leaving menus, pop-up dialog, uninstall
Yep.
button to
Confirms
activate,
it.
enter.
Enter.
List box, enabling technologies driver
Okay. And it looks all
8.130
set.
apps found.
So I have 130 now, but down arrow, get rid of something you don't need. It's losing weight. Of course, you lose weight, you get to move faster. That's just like it is on the computer. So get rid of all your unneeded items. And it typically takes quite a while when I walk schools through this. So there's a lot of bloatware that comes with computers. Get rid of all the get rid of all the bloatware. Okay, Alt F4 and get out.
Alt F4, document 1 word.
Okay, now our sound.
Windows R and Vol X.
And I'm just going to show you this SND sound, the abbreviation for it, VOL, volume.exe. Because often when you get a new computer, your sound is going to start, well, just make sure you change your sound in your control panel first. Because I've often noticed if you get that done quickly, then you don't have to go into your sndvol.exe very often. I'm just going to open that just so you can hear. Anything that has sound or is utilizing sound on your computer, you can adjust it there also. And anybody who knows exe, that's your executable, that's your real powerful program option. Windows R.
Windows R run dialog. Type the name of a program, folder, document, or internet resource, and Windows will open it for you. Open edit combo Vol X
Yeah,
1 of 26 to
Yeah.
set the value.
So any screen reader is not going to read that well. It's already in there, sndvol.exe. Hit enter.
Enter. Volume mixer headphones Realtek R audio dialog. Up down slider 36 to inc.
Okay, so there is your volume control. Yes, you can get there through your settings. Yes, you can get there through your control panel, but that is so much whipping faster. So if you know your run dialog commands, you can get anywhere very quickly. You can tab through there. You can adjust whatever you want to adjust accordingly. I'm going to hit escape and get out.
Escape. Document 1 word. Edit.
Okay, next.
Setup misspelled Gmail.
Okay, a lot of people think, oh my gosh, Gmail is so inaccessible. It's because when you open your Gmail, if you're a brand new user, it is not set up for keyboard shortcuts. So there's no shortcuts for you to utilize until you get that set up. So let's go there and get that set up. I'm going to sit on my Alt and Tab.
Screen inbox 1 tech 20
And
student
there we are.
Gmail com Gmail personal.
Okay, I'm going to hush them up. So we're going to go through here step by step. Typically, cursor on, insert F5 is just the easiest way to get around quickly. So I'm going to make sure my cursor is on.
Off. On.
Insert F5.
Select a form field dialog. List 1 list view. Basic HTML.
Don't go into basic HTML. I know it is so easy to use, but there's no power in basic HTML. You do want to use your standard mode and all the power, and I think that actually is going away soon. Anyway, you want to hit S until you get to your settings.
S, search mail S, search mail S, support but S, settings button, 7
And
of
enter.
20, enter. Inbox 1 tech 20 student G.
You heard the pop, hit enter to open your settings.
Enter, quick settings context.
Tab to see all settings.
Close button to see all settings button to activate press.
Now, before we go in there, you can tab through this. And what I will tell you, the easiest way to do this, tab through for the default and then tab all the way down the inbox type, have unread first. I have discovered that's just the easiest way to keep really organized. But of course, you can go through all your options and check what you want. I'm just saying that seems to help our students and myself the best. I'm going to hit enter on see all settings.
Enter. Group General tab selected.
Okay, you're going to stop at the General tab. You're going to insert F5, and we are going to go ahead and go to our keyboard shortcuts so we can get power right off the bat. Insert F5.
Select a form field dialog. List 1 list view. General tab.
I'm going to hush them up and hit K for keyboard.
K. Keyboard shortcuts off radio button not checked. 60 of 1.
It is not checked. Down arrow in time.
Keyboard shortcuts on radio button checked. 61 of 100.
Okay. You're going to hit enter on that. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter because the item right below that, down arrow.
Icons radio button not checked. 60.
That's typically what is checked, and text works better, down arrow.
Text radio button checked. 63 of 1.
So I'm going to go back up to keyboard shortcuts. We're going to pretend that says
Icons,
off.
keyboard shortcuts on radio button checked.
It
60.
is checked. So I'm going to hit enter. It's a radial button, just so you know.
Enter. Main region. Group. Keyboard shortcuts on radio button checked. Hold to row 22. Keyboard short.
Beautiful. And you can go ahead and down arrow to your next item.
Button labeling. Learn more about icons. Radio button not checked.
And I do suggest down arrowing just to confirm that your buttons label and that's text. So those are two crucial ones. I do suggest going through here. They have, do you want mail notifications? Do you want smart writing and all of that others? But these are the absolutely crucial ones. Oh, yes, and conversation view. Most, I'm going to say 99%, do not want conversation view on, and it is by default. So let's go ahead and go to conversation view also. Insert F5 in conversation view.
Select a form field dialog. C. Create a new C. Cancel button. C. Calendar. C. Contacts. C. Compose button. C. Create new label. C. Chat and meet tab. C. Conversation view on radio button not checked. 50 of 101.
It is not checked because what it does is if you are emailing back and forth between one person, it is collecting all of those basically in one email. You have to open that email and then you have to go through and open each individual item. And that can be very confusing for a lot of screen reader users. I've had one who actually wants it on. But she has learned the commands to quickly navigate around that. But and it's not just screen reader users, it's sighted users too. So anyway,
conversation view off radio button checked. 51.
And you're just going to go down there. You're going to hit enter. You're going to enter and select that. Okay. We're going to pretend we did all that. Insert F5 again. And S to save buttons. It's all the way at the very bottom. Faster is actually Control End and then up arrow to save button. But since I'm already, more than probably 2/3 of the way down, I'm going to hit S until I find save.
S, smart group S, show into S, shows S, subject S, size, S, save changes button unavailable, 90.
Unavailable because I did not change anything, but you will have saves change button. Hit enter to go there, enter to actually save your options. I'm going to hit escape. You, of course, will hit enter.
Escape, icons, radio button.
Okay, the next thing you're actually going to do is if you're going to use Outlook, you need a forwarding and pop email. Insert F5 is going to be the fastest way to get there.
Select a form field dialog. List F, first day, edit F, fixed end date F, font F, filters and F, forwarding and pop image tab, 18 of 100, enter. Group, forwarding and pop image tab, enter, forwarding and pop image tab.
Okay. You're going to tab through this and you're going to hear enable pop for all email, enable pop for mail that arrives from now on. So you're going to select which option works best for you. You actually can tab through and hear configuration instructions for your Outlook. I highly suggest you go in there also. And if you want to enable IMAP, you can enable IMAP to set up your Outlook. If this is not set up, guess what? You're going to have challenges and difficulties setting up your email client. So that is just a heads up on that. Of course, you want to save changes, insert F5, or it's B for button to get to your save changes. So that is how you get your Gmail set up properly. I'm going to go ahead and Alt F4 at this point. Alt F4. Oh yes, heads up, all the commands are changing in Gmail in August. So not this, what I just taught you, that's all good. But you will need to, if you've been using Gmail up until this point, you do need to do everything I just walked you through. And then, of course, learn the new commands. I'm going to Alt F4.
Alt F4. Document, one word, edit.
Okay, and down arrow.
Conversation view off for most people.
Yep.
Keyboard shortcuts on.
Yep.
Text instead of icons.
Yep.
Save.
Beautiful.
Forwarding and pop.
And we got that. Last but not least.
Blank. Index machine, then index every few months or when search starts.
And I think that's it. Most people don't even know about this. Okay. Yep, that's the last item. So indexing a machine. Most people know what a library is, and all the books are stacked and selected and so easy to find. But picture a hurricane going through there and all the books are all over the floor. So the library that walks in, it's all nice and organized. We're going to call that an indexed library. But when the hurricane goes through and moves them all to the floor, that's an unindexed machine. Well, your machine is not actually indexed, not set up for indexing when you first get it. This is how you index your machine, which will allow you to find your items really quickly. Here we go. Hit your Windows key and type in index.
Search INDNE indexing
Yep,
options. Control
enter.
End. Enter. Indexing options dialog. Close button.
Okay, so what I suggest is do tab through here. When you go to your list view, you're going to see that Windows C is not indexed. It's not in there. You're going to tab through, you're going to hear modify, Alt M. So if you just go to your indexing, Alt M, once you do this a few times, that's just what you'll do. But from now on, every few months, you're going to index. All you have to do is go into your indexing options and just Alt M and hit enter, and it will automatically start indexing for you. I'm going to do that, Alt M.
Alt M. Indexed locations dialog. Change selected locations location.
I'm going to hush them up because the Windows C is always at the very bottom and it is not checked. Down arrow.
Internet. Microsoft. Windows C closed. Checked. Checked.
Okay, it is closed. I do highly suggest right arrowing going through because there's some options you may not want indexed and some that you do, and you want to go ahead and hit spacebar. In general, hit spacebar, get your Windows C indexed, and then you're going to find a lot more ease in finding what you want. As soon as I hit enter, and I haven't done this in a while, it will start indexing for me.
Enter. Indexing options dialog. Modify button to activate. Press spacebar. Alt plus M.
And I'm going to hush them up. And what it's going to say is it's going to say indexing like slowed down, or I can't remember what it was. So I apparently did do my index because it's saying indexing complete. If I went ahead and insert tabbed around on that, it would tell me that also. But yours, you're probably going to hear it go from like 9,000 up into the hundreds of thousands, or 10 or 20,000 up into the hundreds of thousands. So I'm going to hit escape and get out of that.
Escape.
Okay.
Document one word.
So I'm going to teach you a little bit about cleaning your machine and keeping it clean so it works faster. So the best way to speed up your network is we're going to Windows R, we're going to type in %temp%. That's Shift 5. Here we go, Windows R.
Windows R. Run dialog. Type the name of open %TEMP. Temp%.
And enter.
Enter. C users remap data local temp. Items view multi-select list box. Not selected CD6 C3B.
I'm going to hush him up because he's going to start rattling off a whole lot of numbers. Make sure all of your programs are closed before you do this. And this is basically, like walking through your house, you have dirt on the bottom of your shoes and so anytime you go anywhere, and you can get here different ways. I've had other people say, hey, can I go ahead and just open File Explorer and Alt D or Control L and type it in? Absolutely, you can. This is just one way to do it. But you're going to Control A and you're going to Shift Delete. Shift Delete permanently gets rid of it. It bypasses your recycle bin because you don't want to move all of this garbage into your recycle bin because basically look at everything as weight. So you just put on 50 pounds, you're keeping the 50 pounds. This is how you permanently get rid of it. Anything you cannot get rid of, it's because you're actively using it. I've already been on my computer for 6 or 7 hours. So I'm actively using it. There's going to be a lot of things I cannot get rid of yet. If you want to get rid of more, you start up your computer, instantly go here, get rid of it. Your network immediately improves. When we connect to students remotely and they're having real network issues, first we have a Windows B right arrow to make sure they're connected to the right network. We also connect to make sure they don't have airplane mode on. That's Windows A, and you can quickly check that also because that's an easy command to turn on. And if it's all good to go, then it's there cluttered up in their temp folder. They get rid of it, and instantaneously we get a faster speed on the network. When you're using your computer, you might see a little lag in your screen reader. This will help improve it also. I'm going to do a Control A and Shift Delete. Control A.
Selected CD6 C3B CD Shift Delete CD6 C3B 59D0E94C.
I'm going to hush him up. And then, of course, he's asking me, are you sure you want to permanently delete all of this? And I do have 1281 right here, but it actually is more than that because these are folders and there's garbage in folders also. I'm going to hit enter on this and it's going to start getting cleaning it up. It's going to open another dialog box that basically says, what do you want to do with these folders that you can't get rid of? I'm going to Alt D to check the box, and I'm going to Alt S to just skip them because I know I can't get rid of them because I'm actually actively using them. I've been on this computer a long time and I haven't restarted it yet. So there's a lot of stuff that's just kind of stuck in my RAM. The only way you can clean your RAM is to completely shut down your computer. So if you believe keeping on your computer all the time is a good thing, I'm going to tell you your computer is going to get slower and slower. The only way to clean that RAM, random access memory, is to completely shut it down. Shut down your computer every day. Hit enter.
Enter. See users mail app data local temp. Items view multi-select list box. CD6 C3B.
Okay, I'm going to hush them up. I'm going to go ahead and insert tab.
Preparing to delete from temp interrupted 0% complete. Continue with automatic administrator rights button to activate. Press space bar.
Okay, so my Alt D is automatically selected because my computer has already learned from me. That's what I'm going to select. I'm going to Alt S to skip. You can Alt C to continue, or you can just tab to it. So I'm going to do it the long way. And I love how it's not talking to me. Probably because it's in the middle of, yeah, I've got a lot of garbage. So I'm just going to tell you, you can tab, but doing the commands is just kind of foolproof. I'm going to Alt S to skip.
Alt S skip button to activate. Press space bar. Alt plus S deleting 1,402 items from temp 0% complete. Pause the operation.
And I already told you it was like 1200. It's always more because of course it's folders also. Once again, that file in use box opens up. Just Alt A and Alt S to skip. Use the commands. It's better than tabbing.
Alt A. Do this for all current items.
S.
Alt S deleting 1,402 items from temp 89% complete. Skip button to activate. Press space bar. Alt plus S deleting 1,402.
And it's done. And I will tell you, I just remembered this. So back to your indexing, you need to be off your computer. Index your computer, walk away. If you've never indexed your computer,
Items
then
view
it
multi-select.
can easily take 30, 40 minutes to do that. Okay, so that's just a heads up on indexing. I'm going to Alt F4 and clean that.
Alt F4.
Okay. Now, optimization, this should automatically already be set up. If it's not, hit your start key and type in optimize.
Search box. OPT. Word. Internet options. Control panel. Opti. Find result. Apps group. Defragment and optimize. Enter. Windows C. Optimize.
It says defrag, but technically you cannot defrag a solid state drive, and almost all computers are solid state drives now. You can tab or you can just Alt O to optimize. But you want to tab to your change settings and just schedule everything so it's on and it's automatically doing that. And mine is. If I Alt O, it'll probably take about 2 seconds to do Alt O.
Alt O. Windows C solid state drive running 41% trimmed 1 of 1.
And it's done. I do have an i9. I have 64 gigabytes of RAM, so my computer works pretty smoothly. So, and I will tell you, if you're buying a computer, yes, you can buy a computer with less, but it just totally depends on how much you use it.
Readers. Menus.
Hi, this is Dr.
Edit.
Robinson, and today we are going to go ahead and go over part 2 of Windows 11 setup of your computer with screen readers. Okay, so the first setup that we're going to do is with JAWS. And since I'm actually using JAWS, that's the reason why I'm going to go over it in detail. If you use, or really you should use at least 2, I highly suggest 3 JAWS, NVDA, and Narrator. But NVDA is insert N to go to all of its preferences. So that's how you're going to change that. Since I'm running JAWS, I'm going to go ahead and go over that in a little more detail. I'm going to do Windows 1 in order to open my context menu.
Windows 1, taskbar, JAWS context menu, option sub menu to move through
Okay.
items, press up.
Let's go ahead and enter on options.
Enter, basics, B.
Okay, and I'm going to enter on basics.
Enter, leaving menus, basic settings, dot.
I'm going to hush them up. So I don't want to bump in to my JAWS window, and by default, if you sit on your Alt and tab through your windows, you're going to bump into it. So if you are in basic settings, you can Alt S to run JAWS from your system tray. Laptop mode, I always prefer laptop mode, even if I'm using a desktop computer, because then I have the ability to use both desktop and laptop commands. I have a keypad on my desktop computer, and that gives me the ability to use both. So make sure you do Alt L and change it to laptop. You really need to do that first before you begin any other commands on the computer. Otherwise, you'll wonder why it's just not working well. I prefer a prompt to confirm when exiting JAWS that, and all these are just preferences, Alt X. You can tab around through this window, so you do not have to memorize all of these commands. I'm just giving them to you if you want them. So tab through all of those to just check the boxes you want. Remember, when you bump in, you're going to tab, you can hear automatically start JAWS, which is Alt J. Check all the boxes and say always begin your JAWS, and then hit enter on that. And then enter and close your basic settings. Okay. So you don't have to hear a lot of talking and just me explain those rules.
Taskbar.
I'm going to go ahead and Windows 1 to open my context menu.
Windows 1. JAWS context menu. To navigate, press up. Basics.
I'm
B.
going to right arrow.
Voices submenu.
I'm
V.
going down to voices and I hit enter.
Enter. Voice adjustment. V.
And I'm going to hit enter again.
Enter. Leaving menus. Voice adjustment dialog. Profile name. Combo box. Eloquent.
Okay, so here is your opportunity to set up your favorite profiles. I always suggest with students you have like a listening mode where the JAWS needs to be just a bit slower. So if they need to read for content and information and answer questions, they want a slower mode. Maybe they want a slower mode for math. And then they want a faster mode for navigation. And so you can actually label these however you want. I'm going to go ahead and just make a slight adjustment. So then I'm going to do a save as, and it's going to say, do I want to set that as default? If I do, if that's the one I want to listen to at all times, you're going to say yes. If not, you go ahead and say no, and then it's going to ask you to give it a name. And I have kept mine at just the name Eloquence because I have several Spanish and German and other voices in here, so I can easily change those also. So just know this is where you're getting your special synthesizers. You do have to download special voice profiles from the Vispero site. Tab through all of these. Typically, it's the rate that kids want to change because, of course, they gain speed in listening, and they will. So Alt V, and I'm just going to quickly do that.
Alt V. Voice adjust. Combo
tab.
box. Voice rate 60.
And you can tab right to your rate, and you can right arrow and left arrow. If you want to increase it faster, page up and page down. And then I'm just going to increase it a little bit.
21%, 63.
And I'm going to do an Alt S to save as.
Alt S. Save voice profile dialog. Voice profile name. Edit combo. Eloquence 1 of 6. To set the value, use the arrow keys or type the value. Alt plus V. Computer
So this is where you're going to be naming it. And when you hit enter.
Enter. Replace voice profile dialog. The voice profile Eloquence already exists. Do you want to replace it? Don't ask again. Checkbox not checked.
I'll
To check,
go
press
ahead
space
and
bar.
just do Alt Y and say yes.
Alt Y. Hand now raised. Press F6 to reach pop-up and lower
Oops,
hand.
Alt
Menu.
Y.
Alt Y.
I'm
Hand
in
now
Zoom,
lowered.
and that's what it does. I'm just going to hit enter.
Enter. Make default voice profile dialog. Do you want to make Eloquence the default voice profile? Yes button to act.
And so if you're setting up another special profile, like a second or third or fourth language, then you probably don't want that to be your default. I do want this to be my default, and I'm going to hit enter on yes.
Enter. Voice adjustment dialog.
And
Profile
enter
name.
again to
Enter.
close.
Taskbar.
Okay, the Braille display is the next big one. So I'm going to Windows 1.
Windows 1. JAWS context menu. Options submenu. Enter. Basics. B.
Hit L. I am going to tell you, if you down arrow, you're going to get the early adopter program. So if you've been watching my math videos and you need to enable MathCat, you need to go down to early adopter program. So I'm going to do that first, and then I'm going to do the Braille.
Voices sub Braille L. Early adopter program. Enter. Leaving menus.
And
Taskbar.
of course, it
Read
pops
only
up.
edit. Enable and disable features that are still in development. We use the early.
Anyway, this is a very successful now. So you can tab.
MathCat checkbox checked. So
just check that and hit enter to enable that. Okay.
Escape. Taskbar.
Now let's go ahead and go into JAWS again. Windows 1.
Windows 1. JAWS context menu. To navigate, press up or down arrow. O. Options. Submit. Enter. Basics. B.
Down arrow to Braille or L.
L. Leaving menus. Braille basic settings dialog. The active Braille display is focus. Default.
It said the active Braille display is focus. It is. So let's say you want to add a Braille display here. So Alt B to add.
Alt B. Select components dialog. Select the Braille components you want to add or modify. Select the Braille component.
And focus is the first one. I'm going to tell you in general, Braille displays are really picky. I use a focus and I use a brilliant. And so based on what I use, I actually go back in here, I uncheck everything but the Braille display that I want to use. So if you want to have a Braille display that works really pretty flawlessly all the time, just unselect everything else, select the option that you want and hit enter and move forward.
Enter. Set options for the focus display. Focus blue braille displays connect via USB.
Okay, it's USB. You, of course, can select Bluetooth here also. If you do, then you have to go into your Bluetooth settings on your computer in order to get that set up. I'm just going to hit enter and move forward.
Enter. Select the braille display that you want to use each time you start JAWS. If the braille display F focus
There's
2 of 2.
no display, which is hilarious. I'm not really sure why. Computers do constant updates. My focus works pretty flawlessly all the time, despite what that said. So yeah, that's just kind of funny. Okay, it's technology. Yep, hit enter and close.
Enter.
And then JAWS is going to say I have to restart my JAWS.
JAWS synthesizer and Braille manager dialog. You must restart JAWS for the changes to take effect. Okay,
And
but enter.
enter.
Braille basic settings.
Okay, I'm going to use the new really fast command, which is insert space. You hear a click and then hit F4, and it's going to actually shut down and restart very quickly.
Space. JAWS, Windows Setup, Docs Word, Microsoft Word.
And those are the main features in there. You can find everything you need to about your JAWS license. And of course, if you need to update anything, you go to the About on that. So that's how you just get into your applications key or your context menu of your JAWS and roam around there. Okay, and once again, NVDA is insert N. Okay, the next big crucial one
JAWS,
is
setup screen, setup display, blank, NVDA, insert N.
once again, I highly suggest teaching all students JAWS, NVDA, and Narrator.
Blank.
Mainly because if they learn Narrator, they can set up their own computers anytime they need to. So they can just buy them right out of the box and just get it set right up.
Reset Word when you have issues. Percent misspelled, %% Microsoft templates.
Okay, so if you've been watching some of my Word, like when I use the Braille Math Editor, I have to do Control V to paste. Well, I know I have issues, but I know how to get around it. But I also love it when my computer has issues because other people do too. And that's your get around. But this is the big one. When your Word really has issues, you can go into your templates, your Microsoft templates. You're going to get rid of it, and then you're just going to rebuild it. I'm going to go ahead and do that because I also need to take you into all the autocorrect options. And then, of course, we'll set up the font and the spacing and all of that also again. So I'm going to Windows R. That's how you get into it.
Windows R, run dialog. Type the name of a program, folder, document, or
Now I'm just
open.
going to hit percent, even though that was in there. Once it's in there, it's always in there. So I can down arrow to it, and it will be there.
Percent app data percent Microsoft templates.
What I will also tell you is, and if you start typing percent app data, it will start to populate and you can down arrow to that. And then you just have to do your backslash, and it's a Microsoft product. So start typing Microsoft and that will populate and you can down arrow to it. Hit your backslash and then you want to go into your templates. Let's hit enter on that.
Enter. See users mail app data roaming Microsoft template.
First thing it's going to tell me is I have to have my Word closed. So now that I have this open, I'm going to go ahead and Alt tab back to Word and I'm just going to close it.
Windows setup, Docs Word
Alt
to move,
F4.
Alt F4, save button to activate, press space bar,
Sure,
Alt plus
Alt
Alt
S,
S.
why not? Okay. And we're back.
See users mail app data roaming.
Okay, this is your normal template. So if you've never quite understood when I'm discussing this will affect your normal template, this is what I'm talking about. So this is what automatically comes in with your Office. And your normal template is here. Let me hit N.
N, normal, dot, 9
There
of
it
10.
is. You have a normal email. You have any other fancy things. I have BANA and DBT in here, and some other items that I have added, but it's the normal template that we want to get rid of. So I'm just going to hit delete.
Items view multi-select list.
And it's gone. I'm going to Alt F4 and close this. And when I open Word, we're going to now, it's going to set it back to its defaults. And so then we can rebuild it. Alt F4.
Alt F4.
Okay. Now let's go ahead and open Word again.
Double O word app. Press O.
Enter.
Enter. Opening Word. Home. New blank document
Yep.
button. 2 of 2.
I'm going to
To
hit
active
enter on
enter.
that. I'll open my other document
Edit.
later. Okay, so if I insert F,
12 point. Black on white. Aptos. Normal style. Line spacing. 1 lines. Paragraph formatting. Aligned left. Outline level. Body text.
okay, so Aptos, that is the new default. The letters are very straight. They're very easily read. That is not one of the defaults for if you're in school, in college, writing APA or MLA papers. They're going to typically require, and I just put Times New Roman, that's always been one of the standards. They have other options you can choose. That one is not one of them yet. So we're going to actually change that. Control D.
Control D. Font. Edit combo. Body T. I. M.
T-I-M. That's all you have to do. And down now to Times New Roman.
Tim. Times New Roman.
Okay, so you have to change two things in font and two things in spacing. If you've watched my other videos, you know that. I'm going to tab twice and make sure it really says 12.
Font style. Size. Edit combo. 12. To set
Yep.
the value.
So they did change that the last time they did an update in Word, Yahoo. I love that. So you only have to change one thing in the font box now. I'm going to do Alt D. It's going to ask me, do I want to do it just for this normal template or for all templates based on the normal template? I want to do all of them. So I'm going to do Alt D and then I'm going to do Alt A.
Alt D. Set as default button to activate all documents based on the normal template. Radio button check.
Okay.
To change the selection.
And now
Press
you truly understand what the normal template is. Enter.
enter. Document
Okay.
one word.
The next is, and I mentioned this before, Alt OP always used to work. I'm going to just try it one more time in here to see if maybe that redoing that helped. Let's see.
Alt O. Upper P. Leaving menus.
It
Leaving
did.
ribbons. Alt plus
Woo.
P.
I love it. So that one stopped working for me, but my Word template really had been mucked up for a while. You copy and paste, you're doing a lot of work in it, and things just don't work well. Well, my Alt OP did not work anymore. And you can see that in my other videos. But if you need to go to your layout, it's Alt P to layout and then PG to your settings. You'll get this identical box. The ones that we need to change is they still do multi-spacing and it's 8 point. So it's the after spacing you need to change. You can tab a whole bunch of times to go through here, or I'm just going to give you the command of Alt F.
Alt F. After edit combo 8PT to
8.
set the value. Use the air 0
It
0.
needs to be 0. I'm going to tab once. I'm going to hit S for single.
Line spacing combo box multiple S single 1 of 6.
Now,
Add
what I will
edit
tell
combo
you
to set.
is if you change that to single and you still do not change that 8 point, guess what? It's still going to look like multi-spacing. When you write a paper and you do Control 2 for double spacing, it's going to be extra longer because it's going to have the additional 8 point in that double spacing. So it's going to look double and a half. Okay. So that's the reason why it's so essential to get your default set up. Once again, I'm going to do Alt D to set as default and Alt A for all templates based on the normal template. Alt D.
Alt D paragraph. OK button
Alt
to
A.
activate. Alt A, all documents based on the normal template.
Enter.
Rate enter. Document
Beautiful.
one word. Edit.
Okay, so that part is done. And now I'm going to go back to my cheat sheet of notes. I'm going to do Alt F and go to my most recent.
Alt F. Menu. Home. New group. Search. Recent. Windows setup. Docs.
Here we go.
Docs. Most recently. Enter. Leaving menus. Windows setup.
Ta-da!
Docs Word. Print. Edit.
Okay, beautiful. So we've changed the Word font and spacing, and now we're going to change the Word autocorrect. So this has to do with math. There's a lot of autocorrect features in here that automatically happen that are really problematic for screen reader users because it's like magic happening. Numbered lists are one big problem. Anyway, I'm going to do Alt F to file and T to options. JAWS is going to talk a lot. So when you get into the autocorrect features, you can down arrow and really look through all of that. But I'm just going to hit P for proofing. So I don't have to, fight JAWS and while I'm talking this. Remember, Alt F, then T, then P. Here we go.
Alt F. Menu. Home to move T. Leaving menus. List box word options. P. Proofing. 3 of 11.
Now, you can tab to autocorrect features, but I'm just going to do Alt-A to autocorrect options.
Alt A. Proofing. Autocorrect options. Autocorrect options button.
Now, some of these I've rechecked and other ones I've just unchecked. So you're going to shift tab, you're going to hear replace text as you type. You do want that one checked.
Replace text as you type checkbox checked. A
Okay.
clear check.
Now you're going to shift tab, you're going to continue to shift tab all the way to the top until you hear show autocorrect options button. That's the only other one that you want checked here. There is one at the very, very bottom, but you're not going to bump into it where it says automatically use suggestions from spelling checker. But you're not even going to get to that one because that one's all the way at the bottom. You want to uncheck all those. I'm just going to quickly shift tab through them so you can hear, and I've already unchecked them. So you shift tab, space, and you just keep unchecking.
Correct accidental usage of C apps lock key checkbox not checked. To
Okay.
check press space bar Alt plus L.
And I can continue to go 4 times more up, but you don't need to listen to Jaws talk all the way through every single one of those. But those are, once again, just magical things that are happening, and they're going to change things on you based on how you're typing, based on those autocorrect features, not advantageous for screen reader users. I'm going to Control Tab past Math Autocorrect and go to Auto Format as you type.
Math autocorrect tabs. Auto format as you type tab selected. To switch
Okay.
page.
Now, some of these I've rechecked just so I can go through them, but typically if you want to just immediately deal with the automatic numbered list, tab 8 times, you'll pop there. But in general, tab all the way through here and really decide, well, what do you really want? Some of these don't bother me. I like my automatic but bulleted list. That one does not become problematic to me. But if it does for you, go ahead and take that off. Let's go ahead and tab through here.
Straight quotes with smart quotes checkbox not checked. To check press space.
Unchecked.
Ordinals first with superscript checkbox checked. To
I'm
clear
going to
checkmark
uncheck
press space
space.
space not checked. Fractions January 2nd with fraction character 1/2 checkbox checked. To space
I'm just
not
going to
checked.
uncheck.
Hyphens with dash checkbox checked. To
Okay.
clear.
This one you really do need to take off because let's say you're actually doing a math equation. You do 6 - 4, and you forget to do the math editor of all equals. If you do all equals after that, it's going to say n dash, and that is going to sound really funny to you. Now, visually, it looks perfect. So the sighted teacher that you hand your work into is not going to have a problem. But if you're like me and you know that's going to bother you, even though because you want it to say minus, hit your space bar and uncheck it.
Space not checked.
Okay. I'm just going to continue to tab internet and network paths with hyperlinks. I do want those. Want those kept in there. I'm going to be able to select it, Control K, and paste in the URL of wherever I copied it from. So I'm going to just tab now to automatic numbered lists.
Bold and italic internet and automatic numbered list checkbox not checked. To check.
That's the big one to uncheck. Okay. So go ahead and now I'm just going to hit enter and close this box.
Enter Windows setup docs Word.
I'm going to hush them up. Now you can either tab like 50 times in order to get down to your OK button, and you do have to tab off this. If you hit enter again, your autocorrect options box is going to open. You're going to tab once you get to a checkbox. That's all you need to do. And you hit enter. Enter is the default to say no matter where I am at in my dialog box, I'm done. Now close my dialog box. I'm going to tab once and enter, and the word options box will close.
When correcting spelling in might enter.
And
Edit.
it's gone. Okay, so now my auto correct is off. The next one we want to deal with is Gmail, setting it up to work with Outlook. You always have to go to Gmail first or your email, whatever you want to do, and then go back and set up your mail client. Outlook just happens to be a big one. So I'm going to Alt Tab now to Gmail, and we're going to move that into position. Hold on.
Document one word.
Another
Zoom
screen.
inbox tech 20 student Gmail.
There we
Gmail
go.
and shift Windows right arrow.
Focus. Okay. So what we want to do is we actually want to go into your settings first. Let me go ahead and Control Home.
Inbox tech 20 student Gmail.
And I'm just
Gmail.
going to tab
Inbox tech 20 student.
Insert F5 is going to be fastest.
Select a form field dialog. List one list view.
Home.
Basic HTML.
And I'm going to hit S for settings. And I'm going to say basic HTML is really basic. And Google is eventually going to get rid of that. So right now it's good. Go ahead and kick it into gear and move it into standard view mode. All your power is in standard mode anyway. Let's hit S to settings.
Search settings button. Enter to activate. Press enter. Enter.
Open.
Quick settings context menu.
I'm going to tab to see all
Close
settings.
button. See all settings button to enter. Settings tech 20 student.
You can tab, you can do many, many things. I can right arrow, insert F5 again. I do love that. I'm going to go ahead and right arrow.
E N
No, I'm not. I'm going to
Novep labels inbox accounts filters forwarding and pop image.
okay. So Google has done a full update August 1st, and a lot of people are saying, "Oh, I'm having issues with it," and then I remind them it's done an update. But there's another trick to that. If you actually don't enable it, your drive just works really poorly. So I'm going to show you how to change that in just a moment. I'm going to hit enter on forwarding and pop.
Enter forwarding and pop image tab selected.
Okay, so I'm going to tab, and you actually go through your headings first before you get in here. Or actually, you know what?
A
Nope, that doesn't want to work either.
add on chat advanced offline themes table column 1. Add a forwarding address button column 2.
Okay, I'm going to tell you that is really handy. If you have a whole bunch of emails, you can actually add all your emails into one email, and you can actually tell it how you want it to be answered. Also, we're not addressing that issue right now.
Creating a filter. Learn more about enable pop for all
There we
mail
go.
radio button not checked.
So you can enable pop or you can enable map. I just say, you know what, go ahead and enable both because Outlook will take a look at this and it's going to say, oh, it's enabled both. It's going to be even easier to set it up. So we're going to go ahead and enable pop for all emails.
Space enable pop for all mail radio button checked 1 of 1.
Yeah, but the next one is
Enable pop for all enable pop for mail that arrives from now on radio button not checked.
that's
Space enable pop.
actually the one I suggest sending because if you have like 2,000 emails still in there and they're really old, don't bring in the old. So enable pop for mail that arrives from now on. Tab through.
Combo box. Keep Gmail's copy in the inbox.
Yeah, I always highly suggest have a backup copy. Just keep the copy in Gmail. So if you delete it out of your Outlook, no big deal. You don't have to panic. You can go back into Gmail. Now, if you're really diligent in keeping a nice and tidy email, then change that. Okay.
Configuration instructions link.
Okay. There's your configuration instructions for Outlook and Dora, Netscape. Well, that Netscape Mail. That doesn't exist anymore. At least I don't think it does. Anyway, Outlook is the big one. So you can hit enter on that and it's going to go through and it's actually going to give you the numbers that you need to input for your IMAP and your POP.
Learn more about disable image radio button checked column
Nope.
to enable image radio button not
Yeah.
checked space
You
enable
want
image
to
radio button.
enable IMAP, and don't you just love how that pronounce that? You're going to tab through, and you're going to see a whole lot of other features.
Auto expunge off. Wait for the client to update the server. Radio button.
Okay, so when I mark a message in IMAP as deleted, how do you want to handle that? Do you want to wait for the client to update the server? Do you want to immediately update the server? So I'm going to bypass all of this. I highly suggest going through. Make sure you read that so you know exactly what you need to do. And of course, there's another configuration, your email for IMAP instructions below here. I'm just going to hit B for button and jump to save changes.
Save changes button.
Okay, and you have to save, otherwise nothing really has happened. Enter.
Enter unavailable. Settings Tech 20 student
There's
team.
an
We need to
available
verify it's you to continue. We need to enter.
Enter.
Blank.
Okay, I'm going to control tab to drive.
Home Google Drive my.
Okay, so here is the issue with all things Google right now, even though everything updated August 1st. I'm getting these reports of, oh my gosh, this is not really working well. Let me find out where I'm at first. Insert tab.
Settings button menu.
Oh,
Press
excellent.
space to activate the menu. Space
Okay, I'm
expanded.
gonna open that
Menu.
up.
Settings menu. To move through items, press up or down arrow. Keyboard shortcuts.
Okay,
Get
up.
drop. Settings menu.
And enter on settings menu.
Enter. Leaving menus.
Okay.
Settings Google Drive.
Here is the page. You're going to tab through here and it's going to say update now. If you do not have that box checked, guess what? Your drive is not going to work well. Let's tab through all the radio buttons.
15 KB of 5 by view I start. Choose your density. Open P uploads group list with 1 items. Offline group. Learn more link. Not
And
recommend.
really do listen to all of these because you're going to want to select some and unselect others.
File preview. C shortcut. Update keyboard shortcuts.
Right
Now
there.
checkbox checked to clear.
Yep. So when I first, because I test one, when I want to test everything. So when I created this, I went into it, and oh my gosh, I knew August 1st because my other Googles have updated and they work beautifully with the new commands. And this one would not. It would not do anything. And I thought, okay, I bet I have to update this one also in order to actually use the keyboard commands. Sure enough, as soon as I checked this and went back to Drive, everything worked beautifully. So check that box. Update keyboard shortcuts now, and life will be good. I'm going to Alt left arrow.
Going back. Main region. 1 columns and 1 rows. Upload.
Okay, 1 columns, 1 row. The first thing is Google automatically sets these up in grid view. I'm going to hit V.
V.
Oh, that's right. They changed it when they went in the settings. Insert F5.
Select the form field.
You're going to very quickly find out what you can and cannot do. So you've got keyboard shortcuts button, so that will actually tell you what you can do also. But right now, just hit V for view details button.
V. View details button. 11 of 29.
Okay, and we're looking, actually for the list.
L. Location button. L. List or grid layout. Alt V. Then L. List radio button checked. 21 of
Alt
29.
V then L. Oh, I love it. Okay, so let's try the command. That's what's really nice about this, is it actually has the commands in here too. List or grid layout. Let's see what
List or grid layout. Alt V. Then L. Grid radio button not checked. 22 of 29.
Okay, so you can actually choose. We're gonna actually do the command Alt V then L, just so you can see it work.
Escape. On.
Okay,
Upload.
here we go. Alt V.
Alt V.
L.
L. Change the grid view.
That's grid view. We hate that. Alt V and then
Alt V. L. More info. Alt rightward 0. Change the
love
list.
it. Okay. So, and I just automatically set that up, and now, well, yeah, I remember that command. Sounds familiar. Okay, let's go to navigation, which was always GN, but now it's Alt G, then N.
Alt G. N. Navigation region. Folders and views tree. My drive cloak. Computer. Shared. Recent.
N, easy enough. Let's go ahead and just hit N.
N.
Oh, I love that. How about Alt N?
Alt N. Menu.
There we
New
go.
folder. Alt C. Then F menu.
So basically what they've done is they've just added the command Alt to all the older commands that you guys already know. So if your drive is acting really funky, go to your settings and check that box. And then of course, all the commands actually kick in, because the old commands don't really work if you don't do it. And then of course, the new commands are not working until you change it also. And that will improve all of that. Okay, let me go back to Word and see what
Leaving
else
menus.
I
Windows
said.
setup. Docs Word.
Gmail settings. Oh yeah, Outlook. Okay, so let's go ahead and go off to Outlook.
Search O-U-T. Outlook app.
There we go.
Without. Enter.
And hit escape. Okay.
Inbox. Mail inbox.
Yeah. Now I'm going to hit escape out of this. I'm not going to sign in because I want to go to how you set this up.
Escape. Escape. Escape.
And you gotta
Outlook. Escape.
several
Inbox.
times.
Mail inbox. Or hot.
Okay. Alt F. So if you get a pop-up also and you don't want to sign in, just keep hitting escape and it goes away. I'm going to do Alt F to go to File.
Alt F. Menu. Info to move through.
Tab to add new account. Okay, I heard a ding, and that's usually a reminder. So the first thing I'm going to do is sit on my Alt and tab to the reminder.
Leaving menus. Windows. Home set. Dot zoom. Screen. Zoom. One reminder. S. One reminder.
Zoom. Okay, so there's 2 ways to dismiss this. Alt D just dismisses this one. Let's say there were a whole bunch in there. It started rattling off all the different events. I can Alt A. If you don't remember that, just tab.
Dismiss button to activate. Press space bar. Alt plus D.
Okay, so it always gives the command to you. And so I'm giving you all these commands, but you can tab to them for reminders. I'm going to Alt A.
Alt A. Microsoft Outlook dialog. Are you sure you want to enter? File list box. Info 2 of 10.
Okay,
To move to an
info.
item.
I'm back in my file box. I'm going to tab to add account.
Info. Select add account button 2 of 2.
And
Add any enter. List box. Unread. Globe Life Alert. Fast approval process for burial insurance. WED 8720.
Now, the problem I can already
Email
see
address
is
edit.
I have no idea what that that password is for my Tech 20 student, but I'm going to type that in.
TECH20SEDENT.
This is the easy part.
Tech 20 AILGCOM.
Okay. Now, if you have already set up your IMAP and your plop, and typically it will connect right up, and all you have to do is just insert your password.
Com. Enter. Adding Tech 20 student Gmail. Com. Accounts. Sign in. Email or phone edit. Tech 20 student Gmail. Com.
Okay, so there it is. So just tab to next.
Forgot email. Privacy policy. Next button to activate.
And
press space bar.
Enter or space
Enter.
bar.
Sign in Google Accounts page. Sign in Google Accounts page.
Okay.
Learn
Perfect.
more link.
Okay.
Try again link.
Now, the browser app may be in secure mode. Let me show you how you're going to deal with that. Okay, I'm going to Windows 3 and go back.
Windows 3, Home Google Drive, new button menu. Press space to activate the menu, then navigate.
Control tab.
Settings Tech 20 student
Back to my
Gmail, Home
settings.
Gmail, settings Tech.
Okay, so I'm going to insert F5.
Select the form field dialog.
I'm going to hit G.
Google account. Tech
Google
student
account,
Tech 20 student
and hit
Gmail.
enter.
Enter. Settings Tech 20
Enter
student
again.
Gmail. Enter expanded. Close menu.
You're going to tab to manage your Google account.
Account and manage your Google account.
And hit
Opens a new
enter.
loading page. Google account. Google account. Loading.
Okay. You're going to actually pull up your security. You can do a find command for it. You can go to your link. You can tab several times. I'm just going to go ahead and tab.
Google banner reach. Search help. Google Apps. Google navigation region. List with personal info, data and security
And
link.
enter.
Enter. Google account document. Main region. Security heading.
Now, the reason why I'm not going to be able to do this is because I have, oh no, I don't have two-step verification on. If you do, you won't be able to do this. So just be aware of that. I'm going to go to less secure apps. I'm going to
manage your see enhanced safe browsing for your account, more personalized protections against dangerous webs on link.
And there's our offending issue. Hit spacebar.
Space loading security document.
Tab.
Main region. Turn off enhanced safe space.
And
enhanced
turn
safe
off.
browsing for learn more. Keep on turn off button.
And
Space
turn off.
enhanced safe browsing
Okay.
for your account.
You have to turn that off. Ready? Alt tab back.
Settings Tech 20 student Gmail.com
And that
Gmail
is
to move to an
almost
item. Press the
always
arrow keys.
with Outlook issues. And I've lost
Set inbox mailbox or hotmail.
Okay, and insert tab.
Sign in. Combo box. Try again link.
And enter.
Enter. Sign in Google accounts page. Computer braille. Email or phone edit. TECH20STDENT.
Yeah, and you don't have to do it at gmail.com because this is a sign into Google.
Tech 20 students. Enter. Next button to activate. Press space. Star. Enter. Next button to activate. Press space bar. Redirecting page. Allow button to activate. Press space page. Email account setup. Adding Tech 20 student Gmail.com account successfully added.
And it's added. So it's that easy. But if you get that, oh, your secure account, you can't do that, then you know you have to go back. And typically you always do. And I actually thought I'd done that, but it's really nice that I didn't, so I could actually show you how to do that. And just tab to done.
Add another email. Open button. Notch. Next button. Advanced setup. Done button to active space. Turn on enhanced.
Voila. That easy. Okay, let's go back to
inbox Tech 20 set Windows setup.
Doing. So that is how you set up Outlook. That's a whole other lesson in order to use Outlook really well. And set up drive and list mode, and we just did that. Okay, so that is basically how you add part 2, Windows 11, set up your computer with screen readers and get you going. If I've missed anything, just email me, techvisiontraining@gmail.com, and I'll add that to the video list. Okay, thank you, everyone. It's always a ball working with you. I'm going to Alt-Control-Shift to my Zoom and Alt-Q to end.
Alt-Q, end meeting for enter.